Isolation is when you have tested positive or you are having symptoms and are waiting for your test result to come in. So that is when you're in isolation. And when you're in isolation because you've got COVID-19, you're going to, regardless of your vaccine status, you are going to be in isolation for 5 full days. Now, day 0 is the first day of either your symptoms starting or your positive test if you don't have any symptoms. If you get to day 5 and you have no symptoms whatsoever, or all of your symptoms have cleared up for at least 24 hours, then you are eligible for what I would say, I've called it modified isolation, which basically means you can still go out. You should avoid high density areas, but you should go out with a surgical mask and try to avoid contacting other people, because again, there is data to say that people are still transmissible, meaning that they're still contagious potentially after day 5. There's also another caveat to this that the CDC put out just a few weeks ago, which is that you can test at day 6 with a rapid antigen test, which is really looking for a high viral load. So very different than a PCR or molecular test that we know that can be positive for weeks on end. A rapid antigen test is supposed to tell you whether or not you've got enough viral load to make a very highly sensitive but not as specific test positive. So what that means is that if you test positive at day 6, you may need to continue to be in isolation for another 5 days and up until day 10 if you are still potentially shedding a lot of virus. So that's if you are positive. Now, if you are not positive, but you have been exposed to somebody who has COVID-19, then we would call you in the quarantine group. And so quarantine is going to be a little bit different. So quarantine is if you are fully vaccinated and boosted, meaning that you've gotten all of, if you've gotten all of your vaccinations, and even if you've just gotten your 2 doses of vaccine, let's say for Pfizer, so you've gotten that or the fully vaccinated with the J&J. I know this is where it gets a little crazy. Then you can be in something called just quarantine. Okay, so quarantine now is just basically I get to still be around town, but I'm going to be taking precautions to try to stay away from other people. Now, if you're not up to date on your vaccines, then the CDC is going to want you to quarantine for 5 full days. So stay away from other people for 5 full days. Everybody should be testing whether or not you are vaccinated or not fully vaccinated. You will all be testing at day 5, and then everybody should be wearing a mask through day 10.